Hello everyone and a warm welcome to Mystery Monday tonight. My name is Lucia Visentin and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for joining me. I'm live on Facebook, and if you don't catch the live here, you can actually go over to YouTube and catch all the replays over on YouTube now as well. So thanks for popping on. As you do pop on, just say hi. We'd love to know who's about. And have a little chat. So I hope everyone's had a great week. We've had a funny week last week. We had John with COVID all week. So I've been sleeping, you can probably see, sleeping downstairs on the sofa bed. And then poor Daniel this morning forgot that's where I was. So when he went to work, I had the lights go on at like 5:30 this morning. So I had a nice early wake-up call this morning. So that was a little interesting. Poor guy didn't realise I was here. Hi Renee, how are you? Yes, John is better, thank you, Fiona. First day off at work today, so that was good. So yes, what did everyone else do on the weekend? I hope everyone had a good weekend. And I spent Saturday I spent a day with my niece, so that was really lovely too, who's just recently moved over from Tasmania. So that was lovely. Hi Joan. Hi Anita. Hi Elizabeth. Yes, like I said, John, yeah, heaps better today, thank you. Yeah, fighting fit, he sure is. He's doing well. So tonight I actually got the papers to two of the bundles that I had ordered the other day. I had shown you both the bundles, but I will just quickly flick through the papers as well, just so that you can see those. Did want to let you know that the suite sale is still on, so if you purchase a suite or anything from a suite, if you buy one, you get the second for half price. So it is always going to be the cheapest that you will get for the half price as well. Virtual album retreat, still time to register for that also. And I am running a paper share again. I did have a few more people that wanted to do it, so I still do have a couple of spots left if anyone's interested, and that's the designer series paper share, which was $70, and I think it was like 69 sheets of paper. They're 12 by 6 unless they come in a 6 by 6. That's probably really quickly it, but I will turn you over and we will have a look at these gorgeous papers. So let us go. Oops. Thought I'd gone over, but I hadn't actually. Let's just get a little bit closer. Sorry, I think I've just missed a few. Hello, Vicky. Yes, John is heaps better. Hi, Kim. Hi, Patty. And hi, Natalie. So these papers here are so these are all the online exclusives. These will be available the 1st of July. So as demonstrators, we're able to pre-order them. So this one here is Painterly Pears. So the stamp set for this is that one there, and the dies for this are those. So they're cute little dies. I love these little textured ones down here as well. Even the leaves with all the detailing in them as well. So let's have a look at these papers though, because these are actually quite pretty. Different colours for me as well, which will be interesting. But still quite pretty, I feel. This one will be great for making like a one sheet wonder. I've seen someone just cut this in 9 and make 9 square cards out of it, which looks really great. That's the back side. Again, the back sides are that little bit plainer, or monotone at least. This one would be a great one for, I was going to say fussy cutting, but actually I don't even think you'd need to fussy cut this. So you've got that die, will cut that out. Yep, and that die will cut that one out. So you've actually got dies that will do all of that sheet. So that's a good one to have with the dies then. And just the plain back with the leaves on it. Secret sea in the background. I do love that colour. And how great does it look with the, I'm going to say it's old olive in that pair. That beautiful darling duckling at the back. This one's quite pretty too. Again, that darling duckling, it's got that little bit of green in it, hasn't it? It does look great with the green. And then this one here, a little bit more calypso, corally, pumpkin pie, timid tiger, a little bit of all of that in this one, I think. There you go. So they were those papers. And then this is this suite that I am going to be using tonight. And these are the papers from it. Floral Charm. And these are just gorgeous. Like, look at the colours in this. And they are very, very different colours in these. Hello, Jenny. How are you? Excuse me. So the colours in this is just lovely. I do love that. It's very, very different. Well, different to what I would use, but I do like it. Now, my card tonight, I was actually going to use this paper, but didn't. But that was my inspiration for the card, at least. So there's a lot of Petunia pop happening on that paper. This one here reminds me of a Christmas one we had a few years back as well. Hello, Lee. How are you? And it was nearly, I'm going to say it was similar colourways as well. I'm going to say that's Timid Tiger at the back. But yeah, the colourways are a little bit different because they've used a little bit of cool and a little bit of warm colours together with these. This one's all cool. I do like that one. With the misty moonlight behind. And then this one here, the pretty peacock thrown in with that looks quite nice too. So, like I said, the one that inspired me tonight was that, and I've lost it now, was the one with the Petunia pop and old olive. And I'm going to say the background, or I've taken it as basic beige. So like I said, that's sort of where I've come from. So what I am using tonight is this stamp set. So it is the Charming Day stamp set. The dies, which I had somewhere. Here we go. Which are here. So the die I'm going to use tonight is this one here and the leaf as well. Yes, and I this does remind me of another set too, and I cannot think of the name, but it did have the black outline on all the flowers, I do recall. And I am going to use this embossing folder as well, which is the pressed flower embossing folder. So this does belong to another online exclusive, the Floral Impressions, which is the Impressions in Bloom. That was the stamp set that went with it. So that's quite, I do quite like this embossing folder. It's quite a pretty one. So let's pop that aside because we don't need it. I've got pairs coming out of my other set of dies. We'll get rid of that. Okay, so here we go here. So I have a regular card base, which is the 21 centimetres by 14.85, and I've scored it at 10.5. I'm just going to fold that and burnish that. Then I have a mount that's going to go at the back, and that is 14.35 by 10. Yes, something penned, you're right. That's exactly what it was called, but I still can't think of the whole name. Perfectly Penned, I think it was. Correct. Now, this one here I'm going to use as a bit of a background, and I am then going to cut one of those beautiful arches out of it and then put the other Petunia top arch behind it. So this is what I'm going to work on firstly. Now, the other thing, I have done a little bit of die cutting already, so I have got some of my flowers here already die cut, just so that we didn't have to do all of that because we'll be doing some embossing anyway. And I do have a little bit of this that's going to take a bit of time, but it was a technique. It's not a whole technique. It's something I had in my head that I wanted to do, and I was playing with it today, and I think it worked out quite nicely. So what I'm doing is I have my basic beige stamp pad, and I've got one of the flowers. So I've got the smaller flower. So there are the two sizes. So you could use the big one because that would fill everything in really quickly. Whereas I'll use this little one, and I'm just going to stamp randomly all over my piece of cardstock here. Okay, and I'm going to do them fairly close together. And you'll see why in a minute as well. And fill in gaps. Sorry, I'm probably stamping quite low. But I will go all around. Hand penned, not perfectly. Thank you. So as you can see, trying not to have too many gaps. We'll see how, if we can continue that all the way through or not. I'm just spinning my stamp around occasionally just so that it's not all the one way, and just seeing how it's going to fill in those gaps the best as well. Do a little bit there, and we'll do the last bit there. Okay, so that is my stamping. We'll just clean that up a little bit, not that it's very dark, but I've got all those stamping off there. So what I was now going to do is I wanted to actually colour the background. So I am using light bubble bath here. And like I said, this will take a little bit of time because I am going to go through and colour in all of the background. I'm not going to be super careful. If there's some gaps, it doesn't matter. And there's probably part of it I don't even need to do. Just let me see. So if I don't do those top corners, it's still fine. So I'm just using a blender pen, and I'm using the fat side of the brush tip. It's what it's technically called, really, isn't it? End of the blender pen, just to colour all this in, and it does give a really nice effect. And it's nice just to have the negative space sometimes as the feature, which is what this will do. And being that it's a blender pen, even though I've coloured that little bit over there earlier, it's still, you don't get like a really harsh line when you go in to colour it, which is a good thing. So like I said, just nice and quickly go round. Hi Rochelle, how are you? I hope you're feeling better as well, because I know you've been down and out a bit too. So like I said, I am going to be doing another paper share. I did have a couple of other people that wanted to do one, so I have put one together again. The paper share I did was the designer series paper from the new annual, and there were a few online exclusives, the older online exclusive papers on there as well. So I've done it exactly the same as it was before. And the cost of that is $70. So if anyone would like to join in for that, just DM me or give me a call or whatever, and I can pop you down for that as well. Oh no, do you know what that sound is? That's my heater that's just kicked in. It's the ducted heating. It is a little bit loud, sorry. It does sound like rain though, doesn't it? So this is actually really easy. It's just a little bit time consuming, that's all. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was the virtual album retreat. Has anyone even thought yet about doing that? Because it looks like it is going to be a whole heap of fun. It is over 3 days, and it is on a private Facebook page as well, is where they're doing it. This is the new bundle, Rochelle. This one is called Charming Day. I was going to use the designer series paper, but then decided to do this little negative effect by stamping it and just colouring in the background. Like I said, it does mean that you've got to sit there and watch me colour in, but it's my kind of colouring in because it's nice and easy. You know I like easy colouring in. Quite heavy. So obviously a lot of pre-order in there, Rochelle. So with the scrapbooking retreat, you actually get to do 12 2-page spreads. So it is huge. You are getting a huge amount of product in there as well. There are 4 stamp sets, and I think they are exclusive to this kit as well. You get all the page protectors as well. You do not, however, get an album, but if you do purchase the kit from myself, I will actually throw in an album for you for free, and that's valued at $75. So if that's what's holding you back from doing it, because there is no album included, like I said, sign up, and it's something that I can that can be my gift to you as a thank you for doing the retreat with me. And the other thing that you do get are rewards with that too. Oh, so you've actually got the box already, Rochelle. Oh, hello, Jackie. How are you? You don't have to say hello. You can just watch. You don't mind. But it's nice that you pop on and say hi. I do love that. Okay, I did say we didn't have to go right up into that corner, so we might just give that a bit of a miss. I've got a nice big bit here that's empty. Maybe could have stamped a bit more. So the more you stamp on this, the less you would then have to colour in, obviously. So that was why I was trying to go as little amount of gaps as I could. So that's it, kind of finished. But then I felt like it was a little bit insipid compared to that. So what I do have is, we don't have any water painters anymore. Hi Jenny, how are you? But what I have been using are the old Wink of Stellas. So I've got an old Wink of Stella here, and I have filled it with water. if you ever want any of your ink to go into your lid, I actually just press my ink pad together, so then you get a nice little pool of ink in that lid. So with this, just want a little bit of colour. And this is only on, what am I going to say, basic beige. So it's not watercolour paper. So I'm trying not to get too much water on here as well. So I will do this quite quickly and just get that little bit of Petunia pop colour in there. And it will just make the colour a little bit more variegated as well. Variegated ombre, whatever you'd like to say. Like I said, it's just going to give just a little bit more colour, which I kind of felt it was lacking. And this is all just going to be a background as well. So it won't be in the foreground of my card at all, but you will see a fair bit of it. Okay, like I said, that's just giving it just that little bit of colour now. So we'll pop that out of the way. So now what I would like to do to cut this out. We might actually go that way. Sorry, I'm just going to clean. Just, I know if I have a dirty stamp there, I'm always going to pop something on it. It's inevitable. So let's just get that out of the way and that out of the way. So what I'm going to do now is grab my cut and emboss machine. We'll bring that up to cut that out. But what I'll also do is emboss this background piece as well here. So I'm just going to get some clean plates, and not the plates I was using today because they are awful. Thank you, Jenny. So it's a little bit different for me, a little bit of colouring, and so I've got plate 1 and 2. I'm going to put one of my number 3s down. We'll pop our little watercoloured piece on there. And our arch. Those arches are gorgeous too. I have used those heaps. Oh, the textured notes. Who used that? Anita used that today. That is gorgeous. I've not got it, but I do really love it. So there you go, that's our little, I don't know whether you can see, but there's a little bit of sparkle there because I use the Wink of Stella. It just retains that bit of sparkle in it, which is just gorgeous. So my other thing I want is my embossing folder. Now, excuse me, with my embossing folder, I am wanting, what way am I wanting it? That way. Let me see. We'll go that way. Now, because it's a regular embossing folder, I'm going to take out plate number 2, and I'm just going to use my base plate, number 1, number 3, put in my embossing folder and paper, cardstock, and then my other number 3, making sure that my fold is going through first. Thank you, Jackie. Sorry, that was a bit noisy, wasn't it? So, that's what I have for my embossing folder. So that is, I would say, the right side of it, but I actually want to use it that way as well. So when I build my card, I'm going to pop that coming from the top to the bottom, so it's actually hanging down. I'm going to pop these two together like so, and then I've got all my little bits to put on it. So let's start just by gluing these bits down, I think. So like I said, I've kind of used the debossed side of the embossing folder, which I don't mind. I actually really like, for this, I really liked that side of it. I think it looks quite good. So make sure that's all nice and straight. It's better. Okay, so now with these, oh actually let's put this together too, because that's just going straight on top. No dimensionals. I will put the Petunia pop on dimensionals when I pop it on the card. So we'll go this way. And that can go there. Now I hope I haven't missed any comments there. Oh, my screen's frozen. That's okay. Like I said, and then that will sit on top of there, like that. But like I said, what I want to do is use these now. So I want to put this on, but I don't want the leaves to be in the Petunia pop. So I am just going to do a little bit of cutting and just take away the leaves, but I'm not going to get rid of them because I am still going to use them on my card. Just make that look like it's right. Okay, so we've got that happening. And what I will do is actually pop that on top of there. But we need a little bit of, that's quite flat, so we want a little bit of texture on it. The arch comes from Everyday Arches. So it's a nest of arches, that one there. And like I said, it has been really good. I've used it heaps. Now with our colours, I'm using the watercolour pack, the assortment one, which it has 13 watercolour pencils in it for $32. And what I'm going to do is just apply some of the colour onto our die cut here. Now this is Melon Mambo, so the colour is not exactly the same, but it was the only bright pink that there was. And it does actually work okay once you get it on there, because what I'll also do is use my Stella with the water in it, and we'll just I'm gonna say smudge it around. Dissolve some of the watercolour in the pencil. I don't know what you say. Anyway, we'll use the watercolour on this as well. So if we do that kind of thing, then we come back just with our water here. And it just makes it less harsh. So you haven't got those really hard lines. It's just going to even it out a little bit. But like I said, give it a little bit of texture, give it a little bit of almost shape. So like I said, I'm just going over where I have coloured with the watercolour pencil. Can you see how it's just these ones here have dried a bit more? Smudge, I know. I'm sure it's not a word, but anyway. Yeah, do you know what? I have been colouring more, and it's true what they say. Like, the more you practice, the better you get. You really do. and I was just always, I think, too scared because I didn't think my colouring was fantastic. But do you know what? Your colouring doesn't have to be fantastic. If you start off with really simple things and little things, you will find that it will build your confidence a little bit. And I think sometimes that's what we need, is just to build our confidence a little bit. And then you can get going, and once you feel like you're doing a good job, then you'll actually do more. Cat called Smudge. But it's all confidence, it's all practice, it's all just trying new things and not being afraid to give things a go as well. And sometimes that's really hard when you like things to be right first time round. And you know what? Just sometimes that doesn't happen. So you do just have to try different things. Okay, so that colour that I was using there was Old Olive. Again, I've just going to wipe the pink off the end of that. So with the Wink of Stella, if you've got colour on the end, just wipe it off, just like you would have done with your water painter. And this is just going to, and I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see what it's doing. But can you see how these are really harsh? And then it just softens it once you get the water onto it. So just so much nicer once you do get that little bit of water there. It sort of just releases the colour in those pencils. And like I said, again, I'm not being perfect, I'm not being pedantic, I am just applying the water onto it and just spreading that colour out a little bit. Oops, and I forgot this little leaf, so I'll do this little leaf as well. Smear, slosh, yeah. I don't think smudge is a very concreting word though, but anyway. But yeah, all the others are words I would definitely use. Okay, so again, I'm not putting down too much colour. It is just a little bit. And like I said, it's just to give the leaves a little bit of definition and shape, basically, because we just don't want them to look too flat. So hopefully that's what this effect will do to it. Okay, so I think we are done with that. Screed. I think you screed the concrete. I'm not sure. Okay, so once we've done all of that, then actually there was one more little thing I had to cut off this, because I don't particularly want that flower there either. So I'm just doctoring up my little dies a little bit here too. So I'm going to put dimensionals behind this and then pop it on top of my other flower, because obviously want the majority of the flower to be the Petunia pop. I definitely remember Dad doing lots of screeding when he was concreting. That's what my dad did for a living. He was a concreter. Wonky catty wampus. Okay, so that, oh, you know what I was going to do? Just give that, I'm just going to just shape those petals a little bit. I know I've already put the dimensionals behind it, but let's just give it a little bit of a bend there. Okay, so we'll start on this side and we'll work it over to there. So I've still got the basic beige under it, and then with these leaves I'm still going to use these and I'm going to pop them underneath. So then you're just going to see a little bit of the Petunia pop underneath the leaves as well. And I think with these, I might just glue them. I don't think they need dimensionals at all. So let's just put a dollop just at the bottom of those leaves. And this can go on top, and I'm just going to mismatch it a little bit just so that you can see it from the other side. So same with this one. Oops, wrong end, my goodness. So again, not using a ton of glue, just a little bit. I hope you can see and I'm not too far away. That one there, and then we can do this last little one. So I'm working on the back of this at the moment. So then when I turn it over, you're just going to see those little bits of pink poking through. Now this one here, I do have to pop the flower back on. That's why I cut that off, just so that I still have the petunia pop at the top here. Let's pop him there. Okay. So, do you know what? Probably, anyway, we'll see. We'll see what we'll do with that. So, what I wanted to do here was have that on my card like that. Let me just do this little bit for now. So that is going to go there. I do have some ribbon, so I am using the, it is called the bordered ribbon in Petunia Pop, and it was last year's In Colour ribbon, which is still available at the moment. So I thought, seeing it's still available, it's on the last chance list, and I'm pretty sure it was a great sale, $6.62 for the reel, which is just brilliant. So what I have done with this is, the ribbon's too thick as it is. Hello Anita, I don't know whether I said hello before or not. I am going to cut it in thirds. So I've pretty much finished doing that, because I thought, you've watched me colour in for the whole beginning of this. The last thing you want to do now is watch me cut ribbon. That's probably going to be a little bit too boring. So like I said, all done. And I'm only going to use 2 bits of that, but I did just want it to be really, really thin. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not even going to tie this into a bow. There are so many things on the last chance list at the moment that are great, great buys. I'm just going to make a bow. So I'm going to loop that over, and then loop my other side over. And just do that kind of a thing. Okay, I will grab some double-sided tape, which I have here somewhere. My tear and tape. Only because I've already got it in my hands, I don't particularly want to let go of it, because I'm scared it will all fall apart. So I'm just going to put the tear and tape there and fold the tear and tape over onto itself and onto itself. So I've just folded it back like that, and hopefully it will come off, and then it's sticky all the way round. Okay, and the bow I'm going to pop up the top here. Just have it so it's behind one of those leaves, just a bit further up, and I'll put dimensionals behind here as well. So this will actually be lifted up a little bit as well. So everything's sitting up high at least. Oh, good night, Jenny. Sweet dreams. Do I want to put anything on the leaves? No, I won't put anything on the leaves because they're actually flat anyway. So I'm just going to pop the dimensionals on the back of the flower there. Oh, I could have put them on the leaves. We'll see how we go. I've got to put them on later, I can. And like I said, that little bit of sticky there will come in handy because it's going to stick that leaf down then as well. And if you don't like tying bows, this is a really good way of doing a bow as well because there's no tying involved then. So we do need a sentiment, and I have I have got my Petunia pop. I have got my Happy Birthday from the same set, so I'm using the Happy Birthday from the Charming Day set. Thank you, Anita. Like I said, it is a nice easy bow, and like you were saying today, when you go to do a bow when you're on a live, it is really hard sometimes, and a lot of the times mine don't turn out either, whereas something like that is nice and easy to do, and no tying involved, which is fantastic. Give him a bit of a clean. Now I think I've actually fussy cut round one, so let's not let you watch me do anything else now. Probably done enough. So I am going to pop that there, but this is what I wanted this other leaf for, because I just thought it'd be nice and give it a bit of balance coming off this other side as well. So do you know what we might do? We might stick this onto the card first, so then we can see exactly, we'll get the balance right then because we've got everything on board then. So some nice big dimensionals on this. And make sure it doesn't go saggy. Do you know what? And we're just at the bottom there, just for good luck, hey? How are you, Annette? I hope you're well. I hope you've had a little bit of time to craft as well. Oh, that's, yes, something I might have to tell you as well. For the ladies that do my classes, Facebook in its infinite wisdom has deleted some of my classes online. So the last couple of classes that we did online, there is only the PDF at the moment. I'm sorry, ladies. I just wasn't on the ball enough and hadn't realised it was happening. Did know, but just didn't think about it. So I think I've got to February. So it's March, April and May. No, just March and April, because I didn't do one in May. That will be PDFs only. So how's that? That's actually, I'm quite liking that. That's looking good. So my birthday I will put there, and my other leaf I will have coming out from here, I think. So let's just grab a glue dot, and you know what, I'm just going to pull the glue dot off and roll it in my fingers. So I've got a nice long little glue dot then, and I'm just going to stick it to the back of the stem and see how that fits really nicely now because I've rolled it. That will also give it a little bit of dimension as well. So if we pop him in there, And then the happy birthday can come down here. Yeah, once it's on the card base, it's fine because you've got the plain around it. But do you know what? This probably is a fussier card than I would usually make as well. I don't, you know me, I usually am really quite simple. And it still is simple. It's still monochromatic. There's still not a huge amount of elements. It's just that some of the elements have taken a little bit longer than I would usually spend on a card. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth it. So we'll pop that there. I'm not going to worry about the pink under that one. And my little tails can curl that way. And the other thing, which I forgot to tell you, these gems actually come with the with this bundle as well. Oh, thank you, Annette. But yeah, like I said, the PDFs, you've still got them, so like it's not like there's no instructions at all. But yes, unfortunately, there's no video. So what I will do is pop a couple of these on, I think, just to finish it off. Let's see what we can do. One there, one there in that little space, and then we'll get another small one and stick him right in there somewhere. So he's a little bit hidden. So how's that? Something, oops, sorry, a little bit different there. But yeah, like I said, a little bit different to what I would usually do. And you know what I haven't done is anything on the inside. Do you know what we could do on the inside? Again, I'll keep it really simple. And I'm just going to get my basic beige, and we'll just pop a flower just down the bottom there. And I'm just going to do a tiny bit of an outline just to mimic the front of the card. And just do this kind of thing. Actually, I've forgotten about the inside. Putting the Petunia pop on this one, we'll just go with the bubble bath, and that's just the light bubble bath that I've used there. So that can be the inside of our card, and there's the outside. Petunia pop is gorgeous, isn't it, Helen? It is a lovely colour. So there you go. We can even just separate that little bow out a little bit more. There you go. And the ribbon will fray, but that's all part of the charm of it as well, the little bit of frayed ribbon. So that is all I have for you tonight. That's probably plenty. I think I've gone way over what I usually would do. Now I still do have a class coming up as well. So my class is actually using the celebratory sips. And there still are some spots left in that. So the class is $45 and it's on the 11th of July, Friday night. So if anyone is interested in doing that, would love to have you hop on board as well. I hope you have enjoyed my card. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely week. And I will hopefully see you all on Thursday. Thanks very much for joining me tonight. Much appreciated. Bye.